Today on ELN Morning.
So in your eyes, has the Ready and Resilient plan been successful this semester?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
As the fall semester comes to an end, we sat down with University President Connie Book. Her perspective ahead.
Healthy for the holidays. ELN students getting tested on campus, what you need to know about the tests being offered.
And no rush to recruit. With spring recruitment postponed, why one potential new member is frustrated.
Today, November 19th, 2020.
This is ELN Morning.
Well, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us for the last ELN morning of the semester and of 2020. Would you look at that? I'm Baylor Rodman.
And I'm Isabella Seman. New this morning, University President Connie Book providing her thoughts on the university's response to the coronavirus. Book says the university budgeted $5 million for coronavirus-related expenses, with that money just recently running out. I began with asking Book if she views the university's Ready and Resilient plan as successful.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that when you look at the work of the committee, it has been a dynamic effort, meaning we're learning every week and having to shift gears, learn something else and shift to another gear. So I think the most powerful part of Ready and Resilient has been a collection of engaged faculty and staff about how to problem solve as issues emerged on our campus and across the country.
So as of today, more than 1 out of 10 students have tested positive on campus. What is your reaction to that?
Well, I wish the number had been lower. You know, I think we all had hoped the number would be lower. I think that we learned as we went through this.
We also spoke about student safety in the Alamance County community. Book says she believes that the county is a safe place for students, despite a convoy driving through campus yelling racist and misogynistic slurs and students being pepper sprayed at a voting march in Graham. I asked if she can promise students safety on campus.
Well, I don't believe that's a promise that I can make, that they'll be, that they won't experience what I would refer to as street hate, people driving by and shouting sexist and racist things from their cars. What I can say is that we won't stop working to end that until it's gone.
Do you think the election of former Vice President Joe Biden, now President-elect, will help this community? Will it hurt this community? How do you feel like it's going to be on campus?
So I think of it very practically in my role as president. So Joe Biden, we saw international enrollment decline over the Trump presidency, and so very hopeful that under the Biden presidency that we can resolve those conflicts around international enrollment, support for DACA students to be able to continue uninterrupted in college. We also know that student loan, the impact of student loans, interest, and hoping for some kind of program to help with student loan and debt relief for college students across the country. I'm a big fan of the community colleges being free for students, and so I think we'll probably see some more traction on that, and first-generation college students. So it's I think lots of potential here for higher education, and I think we can work toward goals to ensure more college attainment across our country.
And finally, from the White House to ELN, transparency is key to any presidency. I asked Book if she thinks her administration has been open enough with students.
Is there a concern about my transparency?
Well, some people have said they're not sure if they can trust the administration enough and have been outspoken about it. So how do you regain trust from those people who feel like they don't have trust anymore?
I think trust is critical. I think there's so many things pressing against trust right now. We've got a major health issue. That's why I think transparency is so important about the way we're addressing it. I actually make myself very available to students. You know, I am on campus. I have regular walks and other ways in which I advertise that I'm on the calendar and available to students. And a lot of students take me up on that, and reach out and have coffee or lunches, other opportunities that are regularly. And I learned so much from those conversations. So I really appreciate the back and forth and feedback that students provide. The goal is to be transparent.
And to watch our full interview with President Book, visit our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
18 students have been suspended this fall for violating mass gathering limits or breaking the rules of their quarantine. According to Dean of Students Janelyn Patterson, over 160 students have been placed on disciplinary probation, and over 270 students have been given official warnings related to breaking the ELN Healthy Commitment. In an email to ENN, Patterson said that there are still some cases being investigated, so the numbers could rise before the official end of the semester.
This fall, ELN used PCR coronavirus tests for on-campus testing. But now the university is considering using antigen tests for both winter and spring terms. Now there's several differences between these two types of tests. According to the Food and Drug Administration, PCR tests detect the virus's genetic material, while antigen tests detect proteins from the virus to determine if you're positive. PCR test or polymerase chain reaction test are sent to a laboratory away from the testing site for results to be analyzed. Antigen tests usually yield results on site within about an hour. PCR tests are also more accurate than antigen tests, though the FDA considers both, quote, highly specific. In addition to its quick turnaround, antigen tests are generally less expensive than PCR tests.
And students are experiencing these rapid antigen coronavirus tests for the first time here on campus. Tomorrow is the last day the school is offering these free tests for students, faculty, and staff before heading home for the end of the semester. Students who were tested say that you still conduct the test yourself, but the results come quicker. An hour after taking the test, results are available at Jordan Gym.
I wasn't expecting that just because the last one I got with everyone getting tested, I was used to like the 2 or 3 days or whatever, but yeah, so I was glad to know because my parents are definitely worried.
ELN junior Katie Rocheleau says she's getting the test so she doesn't spread the virus to her family.
If I start to feel bad, obviously, then I'll get another one, but I feel fine right now, so if it's negative, I will believe it.
For students from states that require a negative PCR test to opt out of the 2-week quarantine, the university is also providing that test as an option.
It's really cold outside right now. I'll show you what the next 5 days look like after the break.
Sorority and fraternity rush is postponed, and an announcement with new dates is not coming anytime soon. In an email to Freshman Assistant Dean of Student Development and Director of Student Involvement, Janice Boffman, says the office is still working out the details on dates for registration and recruitment. The original dates for sorority rush were at the end of January, but that's now the weekend before winter term final exams. Fraternity rush was scheduled for a few weeks later. ELN freshman Sage DiBiase says she's frustrated by the decision.
Just expected to meet lots of people, be with people all the time, because obviously you live with them, you are with people in class, you're with people at lunch, you're with people when you live together, everything. And I feel like classes, I'm glad they're in person, but there's no connection.
In a letter sent to sorority and fraternity presidents, Vice President for Student Life John Dooley said his team is proud of organization leaders, but feels enforcing coronavirus guidelines has been a challenge. Dooley said the pause on all planning for spring recruitment is to lessen, quote, the tremendous social pressure that accompanies the new member period, among other things. DiBiase says now she's nervous that her spring semester will be too much like this one, and she'll be left feeling anxious to go home.
There's nothing social. So, I don't know. I wish they were doing it, even if it was online, but I understand why they're not. I just wish there was more ways to meet people.
The Office of Student Life says they hope to provide further rescheduling information in January.
Well, Bella, last week I said I wanted my North Carolina blue sky and flannel weather, and we definitely got that today.
Absolutely, and especially for us Northeasterners, we crave this fall weather.
We do. Our Julia Ashbrook is live now on Citrone Plaza with our Phoenix 5-day forecast. Julia.
Thanks, Baylor and Isabella. This morning it was really cold. There was even some frost on the ground, and it's still really cold. My hands are freezing. Right now it's 43 degrees and sunny. Tonight it's going to be about 40 degrees with clear skies. On Friday it's going to be about 68 degrees with a low of 41. Saturday the high is going to be 71 with a low of 44 and mostly sunny skies. Sunday there's going to be a high of 66 and a low of 49, and it's going to be cloudy that day. For the last day of in-person classes on Monday, the high is going to be 63 with a low of 32 and mostly sunny skies. For those of you traveling on reading day Tuesday, it's going to be a high of 55 and a low of 37. Next week for Thanksgiving, it's looking like it's going to be great weather here at ELN, and I hope it is for you all back home. Back to you in studio.
All right, well, I am very excited to feel all bundled up and to head back home to the Northeast, but the weather's looking pretty good for the rest of the week. All right, Julia Ashbrook live out there on Citron Plaza. Julia, thanks. For some students, the end of the semester is also the end of their time here at ELN. Senior Cammie Rice decided to graduate early to save money during the COVID-19 pandemic. Even though it wasn't a traditional semester, Rice says she still developed close-knit relationships with her professors while learning outside the classroom.
I came in thinking that I was going to be super sad all the time, just that like my lasts were kind of robbed from me, but I do feel like it kind of, I don't know, it taught me to appreciate like the smaller things that I loved about ELN, like my close-knit group of friends.
Rice says she's looking forward to moving back home, but is having a hard time finding a job during the pandemic. The biochemistry major says she's hoping to find a research-based job that is long-term so she can get lab experience before applying to grad school.
I thought that all of this pandemic stuff was going to take away from the fact that like the excitement of graduating, but I still feel like that is still there even if you don't have the ceremony. And since I know that this won't be my last graduation, it's kind of more comforting.
Says she'll be disappointed if ELN can't host an in-person graduation in the spring.
And that's all the news we have for you this morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
For all the news you need to know when we're not on the air, visit our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
And be sure to follow us on social media at ELN News Network.
Have a great week, ELN. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Stay healthy, and we'll see you in the new year.